So Gary, tell us, what can you tell us about this particular gator here, sir?
This alligator was on Lake Sam Rayburn. Had been in one spot for up to a month. It would never go 15 to 20 yards from where it was laying all day. Obviously, the alligator's trying to get the sun this time of year because we're coming out of cold weather, moving into the spring. So it was staying in the same spot, and sometimes that's normal for an alligator to do, but not for that long, and especially not a big alligator like this. We started getting a lot of calls to come and move this alligator because it was in a very populated place at Lake Sam Rayburn. As these calls started coming in, so did pictures. And in the pictures, I noticed that there was something really different about this alligator. Not only is he big, is he over 13 foot, but the problem is he should weigh another 250 pounds more than he weighs now. So as I started looking at these pictures, I realized we've got an alligator here that has not been feeding. For what reason? I really wanted to know. We took off yesterday to Lake Sam Rayburn early in the morning around 5 o'clock. We got there at daylight. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Game Wardens was waiting on us. We flew a drone over him. He wouldn't move during the drone. He was in about 4 foot deep of water when we found him with the drone. We were able to cast out with our small treble hooks and hook him long enough for us to get a boat around and get over the top so we could get a rope on him. And sure enough, when I got close to him, I noticed his head should have been a 14-foot alligator. He was just that big in his skull area. We brought him back, we got him out of the water and we measured him. He was 13.3 and he's less than 500 pounds. So the problem here is we've got a very old man alligator that has decided he was just done. Well, here's the problem. When you live in a lake like that, you got to catch birds and fish and snakes and turtles to eat. Here's our question. Has he lost the will to live, or has he lost the will to hunt? Now, those are two major differences, okay? If he's lost his will to hunt, then where he's at is the best spot for him because we're going to actually feed him by hand. And in a little while, we are going to try to give him a little bit of food and see if he'll take that. Once again, I need to say this again. This is very important. Has he lost his will to hunt, or has he lost his will to eat? We're going to find those out in just a little bit. But this is a very old alligator. Alligators in the wild live from 40 to 60 years old, and I can tell you, he's going to be every bit of 60 years old.
The question is, people may think that Big Al didn't lose his #1 spot. Big Tex did not lose his #1 spot because it is this guy here, right?
No, absolutely. Now Big Al is our oldest alligator in the park at 95 years old. He is 13 foot 4 inches long. October of 2016, we set the world record with the largest alligator ever caught alive, and that's Big Tex. Big Tex is now 14 foot 1 inch, so Big Tex is the biggest at Gator Country. He's not the oldest. Big Al's been around here at the park, especially for longer than any of them. This is the third largest alligator that we have here at Gator Country, and the third largest one I've ever caught.
How big is this guy?
This animal right here is 13 feet 3 inches. The staggering difference is Big Al is 13 foot 4, but Big Al weighs over 1,000 pounds. So maybe that'll let you know how emaciated this alligator right here is. This one's right at 500, so he's less than half of what his body weight should be. Once again, we're trying to figure out, are his organs shutting down? Is he just that old? We'll find out. What we need him to do is get warm in the sun, get comfortable where he's at, and we're going to try to feed him and see if he'll eat.
When you and I were speaking earlier, you say this is your rehab pond here?
Yeah, this pond here behind me is a pond that we use for really big alligators to get them back on their feet before they go into general population here at Gator Country. And we have over 700 alligators here in Beaumont, Gator Country. The Texas Park does. However, this is where our special needs alligators go. There's another alligator in this pond that came from Buffalo, New York. He had been kept indoors in a small pool for over 32 years in Buffalo, New York, and he's got a lot of issues as far as a bone disease, and he's blind in both eyes, which does bring up a point about the old man alligator here that we call Jasper. Jasper is missing his left eye. He doesn't even have the eye at all. It's just completely gone. So that's another issue when we're talking about if he's hunting for his prey. I mean, only having one eye would certainly make that more difficult.
You and I also spoke earlier that normally when you guys go rescue alligators, you're protecting the general public, but this time you're protecting this guy to save his life.
Yeah, this is a very different situation for Gator Country in that normally when we get a call to go move an alligator, it's in somebody's pool, pond, backyard, maybe it's in their garage, and we're trying to get the alligator away from the public so the public is safe. This time, we're trying to get the alligator to where we can rehab him and get him eaten. In other words, instead of the public being number one safety on this specific alligator, we're looking out for his safety number one.
Anything else you think that's of importance that you would like to mention, sir?
Well, there's just a lot of things. I'm trying to think what they can see in this camera view for the alligator. I want you to look at the alligator's base of his tail. That's where the weight loss comes in first for these big male alligators. They'll begin to get real thin in that tail. Now, you think about that tail. That tail is generally really powerful. They help that to gather prey with. In this instance, he's probably lost 60 to 70 pounds just in the base of his tail. Now if you'll move up on his back, you'll see those osteoderms where they're sunk in. They're sunk way in, like an inch down. That lets you know it's probably been a year since this alligator has eaten anything.